I'm talking about Rain of Fire for the Game Boy Advance. Now, this is the game that was based on that movie that no one ever saw. Now, Rain of Fire is actually a pretty fun game, probably more entertaining than the movie. You get to play as the humans for 10 levels, and if you beat that, then you can actually go back and play 6 levels as the dragon, which is just as fun. You control about like 8 little kind of characters, and they all have guns, and they kind of go out in a group together, so you kind of control the whole group. Now you have a map that actually points you to where your directives need to be, and this is all about harvesting food for the people on the planet before the dragons can destroy you. Now they have a bunch of different vehicles that you can also get in and commandeer. They have one that's like a water tank thing where you can go and fill it up with water at the lake and bring it back and put out all the fires that the dragons are trying to burn down everything. They have a harvester tank which you can go around and get food to bring back, and they have military vehicles that move you really fast, and they have like military tanks as well. The sound and music is pretty well done. They use some digitized orchestral stuff as well. The graphics are okay for the Game Boy Advance. It actually does give you a kind of a 3D feeling as well every once in a while, especially when you're driving around in the tanks. I'm giving this game an 8.5 out of 10.
Alright, we're back. We're talking about The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers from Electronic Arts for the PlayStation 2, but it's also out for the Xbox and GameCube.
Another great movie license.
Yes.
Another great game. They actually use a clip of the movie.
Right.
And then they'll transition right into the actual game art.
And it's not rendered images either. This is artwork that you actually get to control in real time.
Game.
It's game art. Peter Jackson, a director, helped in this sort of overall look and feel of the game, and his touch is absolutely evident in every frame of this game. This is, without question, in my opinion, the most beautiful action type hack and slash type game I've ever played, period. Essentially, this is an update to like the Double Dragon Final Fight kind of game design, where you walk from one environment to the next and beat up as many bad guys as you can along the way. And that's basically what this game is.
But with style this time.
Tons of styling. This game borrows a little bit of RPG stuff in there. You can actually power up your characters by being a good player. If you've got some really fancy swordsmanship, or you take out the bad guys very quickly, you'll get rewarded with
well, there's health power-ups.
With money, I guess, basically to buy power-ups.
So that you can buy health, you can increase your speed, you can become stronger, and you can also buy different combo moves as well.
Or weapons that you can actually take back into the battles with you.
Now, the animations on the 3 characters that you get to play in the game, the 3 characters are...
Aragorn.
You got your Aragorn.
Legolas. Or Gimli.
And Gimli.
You don't get to play as Gandalf or Frodo.
As far as we know, although when you do finish the 12 worlds, there's a hidden character.
It's got that sort of muted tone film look. I mean, everything looks a little bit grainy. The colors have been drained from the frames, just like the movie was. So you feel like you're delving into these very dark and foreboding environments. And because the colors have been sort of dropped down a little bit in the environments, and the characters blend with the rocks and all that stuff, it looks realistic as it pertains to the film, but it also makes all the magical effects and the flame arrows and all the, the incredible special effects that you see in the game really stand out.
And like in the movies, when the fire arrows come at you, you're at the camera, it does the same thing in the game, and it freaks you out. You can actually use your sword to deflect.
Yeah, you need to defend all the way through the game. You can't just go into battle and pretend to be Mr. One-Button guy.
Half the fun is figuring out what you have to do in order to defeat a lot of these bosses. The music they take completely from the film, so you get all this amazing, dramatic, live orchestral and choir stuff. Of course, all the sounds come right from the movie as well. So you
voice acting is from the actors in the film.
Elijah Wood and Ian McKellen, guys like that, actually did a whole bunch of extra voice work for this.
We have barred the gates, drums, and the deep cannot get out. They are coming.
Now, Now, I'll tell you one of the problems with the game, though, it was a disappointment. In Gauntlet, you know, you can have sometimes 2, 3, 4 different players on screen battling at the same time.
Right.
This was the perfect game to do this.
Yes.
One guy could have been Aragon, one guy could have been Legolas.
Plus, the game is a little bit short as well. You're going to be able to, once you get the basic feel of everything, you're going to be able to plow through the game. 8.5 out of 10.
I give it a 9. On the positive side, there has never been a game that has more closely resembled the actual film. The animations and backdrops of this game are absolutely stunning. The music, sound effects, and actors taken from the movie are absolutely incredible.
On the negative side, the gameplay is a little bit derivative, a little bit repetitive, but still fun. There's no multiplayer cooperative mode in the game, which is a little discouraging because you do get to play as different characters from the movies. And again, because the game is so much fun, you want it to go on a bit longer than it actually does. All right, with all these amazing 3D games available for the PC these days, you're probably looking around and wondering which 3D card is right for you. Tommy and I are going to talk about what is considered one of the best ones on the market right now. This is the ATI Radeon 9700 Pro. This is a $400 graphics card. Woo! You heard me right. It's an expensive investment. Got 128 megabytes of memory on it.
128?
Which is an amazing amount considering a lot of people out there are still running on 32 megabyte cards right now.
I'll say.
But what's becoming more apparent as Doom 3 is on the horizon, 128 megabytes of memory is what you're going to need to run these incredibly fast games.
Look, there's nothing more annoying than putting in your favorite game like a Mafia or No One Lives Forever 2.
Right.
And you go into that graphics option and all your stuff is basically about halfway.
Yeah.
No, we better turn off the fogging and the shadows and this. Throw all that out the window with this card. Be able to go into all your latest, greatest games. Boom, the best. Boom, the best. Boom, turn everything on all the way up. It's going to be able to handle all of that stuff.
We plugged in these very complicated games like Mafia into the machine, and everything ran beautifully. It's very, very fluid.
Hitman 2 was unbelievable.
And it looks like phenomenal.
It was like playing the game for the first time again.
Yes.
I tell you what, I can't wait to play Splinter Cell on the PC with this card.
I know, it's going to be insane.
Oh my! So you're going to recommend it?
I'm going to recommend it to the hardcores out there. It is worth the money if you're a hardcore PC gaming enthusiast. But if you are not, I would say probably go in for something a little bit lower than that. Are you going to recommend it?
Yeah, well, it's for the same reasons you did.
On the positive side, this card can handle any 3D game you throw at it. It's beautiful. It's incredibly satisfying to max out your resolution and all your 3D graphics effects. And man, don't you feel cool when you talk to the other PC gaming nerds you know.
The only negative thing about the card is it has a big price tag. But hey, you get what you pay for.
We're coming right back with a look at Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.